Hi, my name is Celeste Duffie, author of The Ass Backwards Way to Move Forward. And this is the channel where we decode and interpret the secret language of behavior. Now, some topics may seem like they're political, and they can be because politics is really just the organization of group behavior. It is the organization of people activity, and people activity is group behavior. However, I'm not necessarily, although I can, look for the purely political part of a topic. I'm interested in what part of that says something about the group behavior. What is the group saying by their behavior? And how can we decode that? So that's what we're going to do today. And I came across this, which I thought was kind of interesting. Snoop Dogg. So the backstory on this is Snoop Dogg apparently took his grandson to see the new Disney movie, thinking, I'm going to go to the movie. I'm going to wait till the lights get low, get all the popcorn, and then I'm going to go to sleep, catch some Z's. My grandson's going to watch the film, have a great time, and I'm going to walk away, being the good granddad. The grandson is going to have a great time, and it's a win-win all the way around. Or so he thought. Now let him tell you this is what actually happened.
I took my grandson to see what was the movie with Buzz Light?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz, the Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
With Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women's. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it's me, I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for. It threw me for a loop. These are kids that we have to show that at this age, like,
that part.
They're going to ask questions.
Yeah.
They are going to ask, I don't have the answer.
So this is an interesting occurrence that happened, and for a couple of reasons. One, because I think it allows us to talk a little bit about parenting, and I think what people can do, it's very easy to do, is to turn this into a conversation that's purely about the LGBT characters in the movie, and by extension, the LGBT community, when in fact this may not really be about that. It might be something more that parents should look into and pay some attention to. So I think this, and in this sense, I'm giving a lot of grace to Snoop, because I think he was innocent in that he just wanted to go to the movies, maybe nod a little bit and sleep, and show his grandson a good time and get out, and let that be that. However, what this does say is parents are going to have to be and should be extremely vigilant, because what is happening is, with the introduction of these gay characters, the woman and the woman, who then have a baby, there is an element of forcing a conversation between you and your child, or you, in this case, you and your grandchild, that may not be appropriate for the age and the maturity of that grandchild. As he said, in this case, he didn't think that was the appropriate time for his grandkids, because he said, these are kids and they're going to ask questions, and I don't have an answer for them. And certainly you don't want to be put in a position where you're forced into a conversation for which you don't feel adequate to discuss and to answer, and for which the child probably is not ready for whatever answer you could possibly come up with. So you're going to have to understand that there's a whole society out here. There's an entire culture out here. And everybody has a reason to want to give your child a message. This, what we are in is in a messaging competition. This is like the messaging Olympics, and with the entertainment and social media on fleek, this is the messaging Olympics, and you're going to have to act. This is the job of the parent as the filter, and you are going to have to filter what messages your child receives and when they receive them, based on when you determine those messages are appropriate for them to have, not when Hollywood determines, or when the school system determines, or when the church determines. All of these institutions are vying and they're competing to get their message to your child. And most of them, if they could, they would get you out of the way. So what you need to be is in the way. You need to be blocking shots from all directions, taking on all comers with the kid behind you, so that you can be the one to filter and determine what message you want your children to have. Every message is not appropriate for everyone at any moment. That has never been true. That has never been true in the history of all childhood development. That has never been true. And we don't need to all of a sudden throw away all of human knowledge about how to raise children and how children develop, so that we can accommodate everybody who wants to give a message to our child. Look, you're going to have to, fortunately, hopefully, you're good people. You care about your children, and you care about the world and the community in which you and your children live. And hopefully you are teaching them to be respectful. You are teaching them to be tolerant. You're teaching them all the things that they're going to need to be good stewards of the world that you're going to leave them someday. However, you don't have to do it every Saturday in the movie theater trying to watch a cartoon. Every moment isn't their moment. That's for you to decide. And so, parents, this is an opportunity for you to take your behavior in account, and to not sit somewhere in front of a screen and then learn, oh, I'm being forced into a conversation that I might not want to be in. That's on you, boo. That's on you. You needed to do that work up front. Again, people who make the hard choices, combing through the movie, reading all the reviews, getting a summary of the story, all of that stuff that's irritating and no one wants to do. But people who make the hard choices live soft lives. I can't say it enough. People who make the hard choices live soft lives. So, hey, let this be a lesson to you. Thank you for coming and viewing this video. Thank you for visiting my channel. Please come back and visit the channel again. I'll be doing more videos like this. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you again on the next one. Bye-bye.